Did you hear that?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah, sweet. So now we're recording. Yeah, Kyle, how you going, man? What's going on?
yeah. Well, good, you.
Yeah, good, good, good. The reason why I got you on the podcast today, man, because your username on Limitless is Altkyle, and
Yeah.
for the last, I don't know, two or three regulations, maybe even more, I just saw your name, Altkyle, top cutting every Limitless tournament, or even winning that. Um, yeah, what's the story behind that, mate? How come you've had so much success in the past and even coming up now?
I mean, I just went from playing on Showdown a lot, and then just trying to find where to go from there. I think I started playing Limitless towards in September last year, I think
Yeah.
maybe November, and then just trying to play as many as I could because that's where I was getting my practice from. I was kind of stepping away from playing on Showdown to play Limitless tours. So I don't know. It's just how I got my practice. I like the tournament environment. Hadn't had that before,
Yeah.
and it just kind of went from there.
No, mate, you've had a pretty big presence in the online tours, man. Like a lot of the people from my community and stuff are like, "Oh, who's this old car guy? Who's this old car guy?" Is he someone that like is famous or like plays really, really good Pokemon in regionals and international tournaments and is just using an uh alt name or something? Or is he just a guy that just comes in and plays tournaments and does really well? Do you play in regionals? Have you played a competitive circuit down in the UK or?
Yeah, I played. I started doing the circuit this year, so I played one regional in Liverpool. That
Yeah,
was my first regional, so
yeah.
yeah, it was a cool experience.
How'd you go?
And it wasn't too bad. I think I got 6-3, top 64,
Yeah.
so it wasn't too bad for first try.
Oh, that's
But
pretty
like, I'd
solid.
like to day two next time, give it a
Yeah.
go.
Was that your only tournament this circuit or?
Yeah, I planned on going to more, but it's just like timings and just how busy they got. So I went to a few locals around my area, but other than that, that was the only regional I went to.
Yeah, yeah. And how were you going in at locals?
Locals is pretty good. I think I won maybe 4 out of 6 PCs. I went to two MSSs, won one of them, top cut the other, so not too bad.
Oh, okay. So you got a decent amount of points in this circuit.
Yeah, I think I ended up about 270. So I wasn't far off the 400 that I would need.
Mm,
I wasn't really chasing worlds this time round. I was just doing it just to see what it was like,
yeah.
just to get into it.
Yeah, you had a pretty decent crack at it though. I mean, if you probably attended one or two more like regionals or whatever tournaments, then you probably would have had your world's invite, but that involves obviously taking time out of your day and obviously planning to go to different places of the world even. Um,
Yeah, I definitely
which
plan on giving it a good try next season.
yeah, yeah. Where would you go in Europe to participate, you
Uh,
reckon?
Probably, I mean, France is probably really quick and easy. It's probably the
Yeah,
easiest one out of all of them. And then just see out of the rest of the places in Europe what's easiest and just like what's a cool place to go see.
yeah, yeah. I reckon like even going to Italy or even going to Germany could be a solid option. There's some really good players down there.
Yeah.
Um, you get a lot of good competition. But even if you can even get enough points from your locals, like going to mid-season showdowns and stuff like that. Hopefully they can increase the amount of
Oh yeah,
tournaments
the
across the
locals are
board.
so fun. So they're always fun to
Uh,
go to.
yeah, yeah. So what is the locals climate like down in the UK? Do they have it at a game shop or?
It's been going through a couple different places. I mean, currently it's at like a games cafe.
Mm,
So it's just a cafe where you can just go there, play a load of video games or whatever. And it's quite fun down there.
yeah. What's the entry fee like and what's the pricing like?
It's not too bad. It's I think about £6 entrance, English money.
Yeah,
Pricing is however many people enter, you get about half that money back if you win.
yeah,
So it's always just go there for good fun anyway. There's a load of good people, so it's great. It's like chiller. The
yeah.
atmosphere is a lot more chill compared to regional stuff like that.
No, it's definitely more chill vibes. The locals. I feel like there's a lot less stress going into playing those, and you get to meet a lot of other people that play. And I think that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
getting to meet other people that play the circuit and seeing how their journey's going. Um, do you have a few people from the locals that have gotten their Worlds invite and heading over to Hawaii?
Yeah, there was someone last time we went there, MSS, they got their invite off Top Cut, so that was cool to see.
Hey, nice, nice. Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty good because yeah, you got a local person that's now going, and you know you kind of feel a part of you is going as well, and
Yeah,
supporting
yeah,
that
yeah.
person. So no
It's
doubt you'd
just
be
cool to see people make it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that have made it this year. There's a lot of talk around. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen on Twitter and whatnot about like Worlds is becoming more of a quantity over quality thing. Have you seen that stuff? Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think anyone who can earn enough points to be able to go to something like that, they've earned their place there, in my mind. It's
Yeah.
not always easy to get to that point total. You definitely
Yeah.
have to make the effort. So I think everyone who's there, they definitely, in my mind, deserve to be there because it's not easy to get all those points.
I definitely agree. People have invested time and effort out of their day. I mean, when you look at how much time it takes to build teams and testing and money used for traveling and paying for tournaments, and if you get the enough points, why not? Um,
Yeah,
but I see a lot of people just saying, yeah, quality has dropped a bit, quantity's increased, but at the end of the day, like if you think that if the people that think that's a problem, just beat them. If you if you got a
yeah.
problem, like
It's
just
just
if you
cool to see the game expand so much.
100%, and I think that's what it's done. I think a lot of people that are going to Hawaii are probably not a lot, but maybe a few people, a good amount of people. It's probably their first time competing at Worlds, and that's good in itself to see the game expand, and that's what we want to see is the game
Yeah,
expand. Compared to TCG, there's a lot more TCG players out there um, compared to VGC, and Pokemon Go maybe is a little bit less, and Pokemon Unite maybe a bit mid tier in terms of the amount of people, but would like to see VGC be like the most dominant one. Because at the end of the day, like when they do the Worlds tournaments, VGC is the last thing that they host, well, they showcase. TCG is
yeah.
just before that, so you can see how big the game has the impact um on everyone. So yeah, well, we talked a bit about that stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself? What do you do when you're not playing Pokemon, Carl?
Um, I mean, not. I've been moving around all over the place recently because I moved away from home. I think it's like maybe my first year, like fully away from home.
Yeah,
So it's been, I mean, outside of Pokemon, just sport. I love sport, kind of
yeah,
like basketball,
yeah,
bikes, all kind of stuff like that. But other than that, it's just been normal life, just part-time job, Pokemon on the side, just,
yeah.
just trying to live. Yeah.
Just trying to live. Yeah,
Just seeing what
yeah.
life's like by myself.
When did you make that step to move away from home?
I went from kind of finishing school up just to just giving a new place a go because I went from from like quite a rural place
Yeah,
to a bit more of a built up area now.
yeah,
So just new experiences, see what it's like.
yeah, yeah. It's a bit more expensive, when you think about it.
Yeah, definitely a bit more expensive.
Got to pay for your bills and got to pay for your rent and whatnot. Um, and yeah, you have to juggle having a job now and obviously juggling your hobbies and stuff. You mentioned basketball. Are you watching the NBA at the moment?
Yeah, I'm watching the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah, been up past couple of nights watching that. It's been interesting.
Yeah, it's very inconvenient times for you, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
It's in Europe. It's not too bad for us in Australia. The games start around 10 a.m. But for you, what time would they start around?
It started at 1:30 last night in the evening. Well,
Yeah,
early morning, evening.
early
Yeah.
morning. Yeah. Yeah, Dallas are up. Dallas are down. Uh,
Oh, they're down
0 and
by a lot.
3.
I was rooting for them too, so it's sad to see.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if they can come back from this, but look, I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be like, oh my
Yeah,
God, they came back from this.
it'd
I'd
be
be like,
such a good
okay,
story.
it'd be a great story. And I think at the end of the day, Boston, if they get the win, they deserve it. You know, as much as people hate Boston or like Boston.
Yeah.
They've they've gone all the way through and they've been almost they're gonna probably they might sweep the final. So do you watch any of the football as well over there?
That's more so the rest of my family's kind of thing. I watch
Yeah.
it here and there, but yeah, I mean it's a good sport. It's just not something I keep up with all the time.
Yeah, fair enough. Wow, an Englishman that doesn't like football doesn't watch football as much. I was not crazy about it. That's crazy.
Yeah, a
Um,
little bit.
are you whereabouts in England are you from?
So I'm from Kent in the southeast,
Yeah.
but
All
yeah, I've
right.
kind of moved up more towards the middle of the country currently.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Nice, nice. Here's a funny question. Do you like pineapple on pizza?
I've tried it before. It's very interesting. It wouldn't be my go-to. I definitely say that much.
That's a very diplomatic response. Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Um, what originally got you into playing Pokemon and like did you start playing the story or did you just start competing first? Or
I just started playing the game since I was a little kid. I think the
yeah,
first game I ever played was probably Pokemon Platinum.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
just getting the games every year, like Christmas time, birthday time, just whenever, and just playing through the story of it all and just loving the game.
yeah. Um, and what are your thoughts on the current story for Scarlet and Violet compared to the games that you played in the past?
It's definitely more, obviously, they've changed it. It's more kind of explore kind of through the game, a lot more open map. So it's an interesting way to see it. I think story wise, they've had a lot more like very creative, very detailed storylines. I think some of my favorite being like
Mm,
Pokemon Black, Pokemon White, and then obviously the sequels from there. So I think they have the capability to be really good story wise, but I also like
yeah,
the approach where they've taken of where you can go wherever you want now. It's not like a linear kind of you have to follow the map kind of thing.
yeah, for sure.
So I think it's a push and pull. You can't always get everything, although it'd be lovely to get everything out of a Pokemon game, and maybe we'll see it with like newer releases. But
Yeah. Perhaps with Gen 10 or something in the future that goes along that path to have incorporated all the good stuff that's happened throughout the years for Pokemon. It's funny that you mentioned, not funny, but it's interesting that you mentioned Black and White being one of your favorite storylines. I think that's an underrated storyline for a lot of people that are older now. Like a lot of old, actually not underrated, but a lot of people that are older now have gone back to think, hey, the stories from Black and White are actually legit. They're actually really, really good. The storyline from there.
yeah,
Um,
just character progression. They really stick with certain group of characters and just really grow that line out. It's just cool to
yeah,
see. It's the way they turn the map around as well. So pretty much the same map, but they've added a few new places and even like the old places, they've just turned it around. It's kind of cool to see.
yeah, they flipped it on its head a little bit, and I think there's like that mystery around it as well, like a regard with N and everything like that, and all the other characters. That certain mystery was what was quite nice, and it didn't feel very childish of a game in that
Yeah,
sense. We kind of grew up with it as we got older. We kind of understand it's a bit more political as well, but policy involved and whatnot. But I think the game is also like it's kind of gone back to that cartoonish, kind of a bit more playful, but there's still a little bit of mystery as well on the side.
yeah. It's a bit
For
more
the
towards all audiences, like old, young,
yeah,
kind of that thing. Just yeah, it makes sense though. It gets everyone into the game. You don't have to be a specific kind of age or whatever, and it probably helps the game growing, just getting into it.
I definitely agree. Definitely agree. When did you start competing? Did you say you started competing this year, was it?
I
Or
started like competing like the in-person circuit this year, but I've been playing kind of competitive. I think I started in about a Mega Ruby Alpha Sapphire.
mm, yeah,
Yeah, so I started playing from there, just kind of playing showdown stuff a little bit in game, but never really anything in person.
nothing in person. Yeah, yeah, fair enough. I feel like this year and last year has there's been a massive booming and lots of new players returning to the or lots of new players coming to the game, lots of players returning to play the game, especially in the competitive side. Um, especially with the production of like the regionals and the internationals and worlds, how it's how it's displayed to the public. People find it attractive to go and play in. Um, there's a lot of certain characters that I feel like in the Twitter space, in the Pokemon space, that also people that are likable and people want to play like them and watch them play as well. But do you have anyone that you watch or that you're inspired from, you know, that in the circuits that you like to watch play or
Uh, I just, to be honest, liking to it, I just like watching any kind of like high
mm,
level games. To be honest, I think there's lots of players that are good out there. I don't have any favorites in particular, but I just watching high level gameplay. It improves my game. I feel like it just makes me
yeah,
think more in detail about their thought process, kind of thing, and it's just cool to see. It's cool to sit down, watch it with friends over
yeah,
like video call, whatever, and just kind of talk it through.
yeah, for sure. A lot of people, yeah, don't see how far in depth it goes to when top players play. They think they're trying to think like 10 steps ahead. They're trying to think of the end game. They're trying to think of how they can, you know, calculate certain moves to do certain types of to do certain amounts of damage. Like I was never involved that deeply into it, but now I'm slowly understanding it. But you've probably got a much better understanding of calcs and you know, matchups, and stuff like that. And yeah, watching high level play is insane, um, as well. And just certain interactions, like there's certain interactions in the game which I'm still figuring out. Um, have you had a certain interaction in the game which you were like, what the hell was this? Like, how did this interaction even happen? Have you ever had that
I
moment?
mean, it wasn't something that's happened to me, but it's just recently learning that it happened to one of my friends, learning that Ditto can't transform
Oh,
into the Terrapagos when it terrors.
right.
So
Yeah.
that was an interesting one because I never knew that was an interaction. I've never really used Ditto, but it's just it makes sense when you think about it. But it was like, oh, that's a really interesting way to trap something like a Ditto.
So what happens when you put the Ditto in when you
I mean, if the Terrapagos is terrored, so it's in its like big terror
yeah.
form, and Ditto comes in, it stays Ditto.
Oh, it doesn't even go to the normal Terrapagos form. Like
Yeah,
the oh wow.
so
So
you
it
just have to
stays
manually
Ditto.
click transform into the partner of
Oh,
Terrapagos.
that's crazy. I had a similar, not to me, but I had someone told me a similar interaction where um it was Lorenzo from Italy. And he said he was up against a Cali mirror and he let his Cali get a double kill. Wait, he said he let the opponent get the Cali uh get a double kill and he only had Ditto in the back and he had
Hmm.
Clefairy and his Cali was 60%. And he thought he won because if he comes in with Ditto, his choice scarfed and
Hmm.
Calyrex only being 60%, he should be able to like not live a Astral Barrage. But if automatically the game sends the Ditto to the left slot, so
Yeah,
it transformed into the Clefairy rather than him sending it into the right slot where he couldn't transform into the Calyrex. So he got
yeah, it
done.
always transforms into what is opposite. Yeah,
Yeah, but the game automatically defaults to the left slot. So
yeah,
it,
unfortunate.
which is so unfortunate. I copied the clef and is like, ah, shit. That was
Yeah,
unfortunately
kind of just game from there.
his winning in moment, which was yeah very upsetting, I think, but
Yeah, tough way to go out.
tough way to go out. Um, how's how are you finding Regulation G at the moment?
It's an interesting meta game. Me personally, I kind of preferred the two regulations before, so kind of Reg F,
Mm,
Reg E. But I definitely spent the first couple of weeks of the regulation just trying to try out everything I could just to see what felt comfortable. And I think it's a very unforgiving format. It's kind of you slip up one turn, it's like there pretty much can be the game from there, just with
yeah,
how high the power level is
yeah,
with the Pokemon. There's so many strong spread attacks at the moment. So
yeah. It's spread damage is the thing that's been going around a lot, and we've seen. the answer for that being wide guard and whatnot, and especially in the last tournament, where was it, NLIC?
Hmm.
If I remember correctly, there was a bit of wide guard mind games, and I think the player that had won didn't bring the Pelipper the first two games, I think, but they brought it for the last game. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, he trapped the Terrapagos into Terra Starstorm, like
Yeah,
double target, and then brought the Pelipper in for wide guard, and it's an open slot to attack.
yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty cool to see.
And that was the only game that he brought Pelipper in, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So the mind game started from the top. He conditioned his opponent to think that he was not going to bring Pelipper, but when he did, oh mate, his heart must have dropped. Be like, oh no.
Yeah, just seeing, especially because it was a choice there to Apagos, just knowing that, oh no, it's pretty much all over from there. You're gonna have to either switch it out and take a ton of damage, or leave it in and it probably dies. So
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. No, well played by, I think his name was Patrick, but
yeah,
well played by him. Um, I've done a bit of snooping around, and I've tried to find you on the Limitless tours, and I found you in a recent one, the Pomelo's recent tour, which was what,
the other
yesterday?
night, yeah,
Yeah, yesterday night. I'll pull it up on the screen. Where is it? Here we go. Uh, can you see all that?
yeah, I've got it.
All right, cool. Just close all my other tabs. All right, I'll zoom in. So you came first. Well done.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been a couple of weeks since I've won a one on Limitless. They've been a bit all over the place, but yeah, it's
yeah.
nice to
I've
win.
seen I've seen you've had mixed results throughout. I'm like, oh, where's Kyle? I haven't seen Kyle in a while.
I've had some
Um,
rough luck the past couple of tournaments, but yeah.
yeah. Is it because of the team you're trying something very different at the moment? With
Yeah,
the
I mean,
Dawn
I've been
Wings and the
using this
Cosmo.
team for pretty much, I think, most of Reg G, to be honest. But it's pretty
Yeah.
much the way the team is. If you can't get, sometimes some situations you get a flinch on your trick room, so they're trying to set trick room up, and it's just game from there.
Mm,
And there's, I think, something I've found a lot more with using like a more trick room oriented teams is the double protects really
yeah.
tend to matter. So that was the downfall the other day in one of my friends' tournaments. I think my opponent got a triple protect, and then I missed a meteor beam, and it's kind of just
Oh.
didn't want to play the game from there.
Yeah, what do you do in that? You can't do anything in that instance. They have to do what they have to do, right?
Yeah,
But sometimes they're gonna just take it like a man. They're just gonna take it, be like, you know what, I lost. I'm not gonna rely on IMG to get me out of the shitter. But
you
you know,
take it how it goes. It's the
you
game we
take it how
play.
it
To be
goes.
fair, so
But yeah, I like this Dawn Wings Necrozma. I'd like to see it in action. If you're if you're ever playing in tournaments and stuff. You don't stream or anything, do you?
yeah, I don't have a capture card, so I
Ah, you don't
never
have
I
a
never
capture
really
card.
stream anything.
Ah,
But yeah, I play some of my friends' tournament. I think there is the Gertie tour on a Thursday.
yeah.
The person who plays that, he streams it, so I get on his stream sometimes because I'm
Ah,
friends with
yeah.
him. So
Yeah, yeah, Gertie. I love Gertie. He
that's a fun
streams.
one. I think that's on later tonight. So if I play him, maybe I'll be on that stream, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. Love to see it. But I like the team. Like Gallade is so nice. It reminds me of one of my mates, Diego. I don't know if you know Diego
Hmm.
Ferreira Silva. He's down here in Australia, and he runs very similar stuff.
Yeah,
Um, with the Indeedee Gallade, Torkoalo, Saluna. And he was running the Lunala at the last mid-season showdown, and he was having a lot of success with it. But yeah, I love to see it. I love to see it. Um,
yeah, it's a strong core. It's got a lot of damage behind it.
mm,
It's interesting sometimes into some matchups, but it's how the format kind of goes. You can't. It's very hard to build a perfect team into everything right now.
you can't have an answer to everything, can you? Like,
Yeah,
you can't. You've just got to take the matchups as it goes and just rely on playing well to get you out, right? But yes, you went against Rogue, Rogue VGC. Do you remember how
yeah, that
that
was a
match
good
went?
one. It was a good back and forth. He beat me in the Swiss rounds, and then
Yeah.
I played him in the finals. So yeah, it was a very good set.
Rogue, I know Rogue very well. He plays in my locals down in
Yeah,
Sydney. And he's also part of
No,
the Region Rumble Oceania team.
yeah, we were having a bit of a back and forth, like friendly back and forth during the games, but
Yeah,
both of us thought the matchup was a bit more of a it was made you think a bit at times. So it was an
yeah,
interesting one. I've definitely it's the first time I've seen Corner Mask on a Ice Rider team. So
yeah,
that was interesting.
yeah. Yeah, he loves that little cornerstone.
Yeah,
He's
it's
a
a good
good player.
Pokemon.
He's a good player.
Yeah, yeah, very good.
Um,
So it was my only loss, the whole thing. So
yeah,
and
wow.
then I had to manage to come back and beat him. So but no, it was a fun one. It was pretty close. It came down to I think 3 games in the final.
Mm,
But yeah, it was just finding the correct lead into what he was leading, and from there just kind of think just being aware of the Ogre in the back because
yeah,
obviously I'm Terra Water on the Cosma.
yeah,
Didn't really want to eat a power whip, so it's just being careful when I terrored and just kind of getting DD on the field when the Ogre was there.
yeah. You got to be careful. Got to be definitely careful. There's another Aussie in here as well, Oreo Stars as well. That's also on the Oceania Region Rumble team. Now you're part of the Region Rumble team for Europe.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's just go stop the screen sharing. Yeah, how have those games gone for you?
I mean, been a cool experience. I've never really done anything like it before. Like so, it's cool to do. I mean, I lost my round one.
Oh,
they played really well. It was a very high paced offensive team. It was
mm,
close to one win of 3 games, but no, it was good fun and it's good experience because obviously people can scout your teams. So it's very interesting to see what someone brings into you when they know what you're going to bring because I tend to bring very similar stuff. So
yeah,
it's easier for other people to know kind of like, oh, he's probably going to bring something very similar. And it's just, but also at the same time, I like to see kind of what people's counters are to
yeah,
what I'm bringing and how I can kind of either come up with a game plan into it or what adjustments I would need to make. So
yeah,
it's cool to find out kind of your weaknesses or how you deal with it.
yeah,
So I definitely like that side of it. So
yeah. It's part of your own testing, I guess, to
yeah,
make your
yeah, it's good
team your
fun.
idea work with, especially with the mons that you're using. Like you're the mons that you're using obviously are not part of the greater meta at the moment, but it's obviously working for you. And
Yeah,
you're obviously
I always try and I understand the meta. I understand that most of the time to be successful you need to use it, but I like to try and use at least maybe 1 or 2 Pokemon that are kind of out there a bit. I mean,
yeah,
I use Mask for most of Reg F and Reg E, and
yeah.
that was something that was kind of my signature for that regulation.
I
Using Grass
noticed that.
Ogre, I really like that.
I
And
noticed
then
that.
this, yeah, yeah, it was very cool. It was very strong.
What was the item? Was
Caught
it
a
was
lot of
it
people by
what was the
surprise.
item on it? I forgot. Was it
It
Grassy
was
Seed
Life
or
Orb.
Life
It
Orb?
was
Yeah,
Life
yeah,
Orb.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I got some crazy calcs with that. I think a +1 Terra Grass with Chempow on the field, it would one shot a Rillaboom in its own terrain.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was some crazy calcs that can come out with it. It was a cool Pokemon to use. I think this time around I kind of went with Necrozma as kind of like my didn't start off with I'm going to use an off meta pick, but it just kind of turned into that a little
Mm,
bit. And it's a cool mon to use. I like it. I mean, obviously it's not for everyone, but it's been pretty fun.
yeah, I'm just gonna. I honestly haven't encountered it in game whilst I've been on ladder. I'm just gonna look at the stats for it. It's got really good special attack, obviously, and special defense. Um, yeah,
I
wow.
think it's about 157 base on the special attack. It's very high.
Yeah, yeah, wow. That's insane. Um, yeah, imagine using the ultra. Jeez. Thing's got
Yeah,
like 167 attack, 167 special attack,
yeah.
129
Kind of glad that
speed.
one's not legal.
Imagine, imagine. Yeah, cool. Do you build teams on your own or do you have a do you have people that you work with to help build your team?
I do a bit of both. I mean the original ideas for the team or just trying to get the basis of a team. I kind of sit there by myself, do as much testing as I can to get it. But then once I've got kind of shells of teams, I'm always sending them off to friends, asking
Yeah.
opinions, seeing what they think, seeing if they got ideas, stuff like that. So it's a little bit of both. It's starting, so the beginning of it is going away, seeing what I can find, and then just seeing if friends have ideas, because there's
Mm,
always going to be someone thinking of something that you don't. So
yeah. People always will have like some form of perspective that might be helpful. Sometimes not helpful, but usually it's helpful
yeah,
to be like, okay, why did you put this on it? Or would you consider that instead? Which is good. You need that feedback, don't you?
yeah, it does help. I went through, I think, this when I first started Limitless tours, I didn't really have kind of anyone in the community that I was talking to. So it was going from team building pretty much all by myself to then
Mm,
be able to branch out a little bit, having friends in the community that you can bounce ideas off, and just yeah, just seeing it makes it the whole thing easier sometimes,
yeah,
and definitely a bit more enjoyable, I'd say. But
yeah,
then at the same time, there is like there's something. It feels really good to be able to build a team by yourself, see it do really well, and then be able to go away and say, "Yeah, I built that. That was
yeah,
me. Kind of, it did this." So yeah,
yeah. No, for sure. You have your own satisfaction around that. It's like your own
yeah.
personal team that you've been like, okay, I can use my team that I built to beat others. Um, are you looking forward to Regulation Age?
I think it'd definitely be interesting. I think most people are thinking it's probably going to be double restricted.
It's gonna probably, yeah,
I
most likely.
I'd like to see maybe something different per se, but then I don't know what different you'd have. I think double restricted, if it is the case, is definitely going to be super interesting.
Mm,
Uh, I definitely prefer meta games that are more kind of not restricted to allowed, because I think it allows for more diversity.
yeah,
With like Pokemon choice, but I still think it's going to be a fun meta game, at least for the beginning. It's definitely going to be a pain to team build as always,
yeah,
especially
it's
with
gonna,
everything that's legal. But it should be interesting to see what people come up with. Is I always like to see. I'm always checking when regionals happen or worlds happen, what kind of
yeah.
teams come out of it. See if we can get any kind of inspiration from that.
It's interesting when you see the online Limitless tours as well, coming out straight away with the tournaments, and people just come up with the most whack stuff off the bat, and people are doing well with it. But obviously, as regionals and locals develop, the meta obviously develops around that. It's good to see. Like, have you noticed like the meta going up and down, changing a lot throughout
Yeah,
the
yeah.
regionals from
I
different
mean,
areas? Yeah,
yeah. The different areas have different things, and I think definitely. I mean, recently I think there's been a lot more Ditto coming up. There's been a lot
yeah,
more Grimmsnarl. I think
yeah,
Choice Specs Terrapagos wasn't a thing in the beginning, but then about halfway through, everyone started using that.
yeah.
So that was cool to see. And then obviously you got old favorites coming back. You got like the Shadow Riders coming through again. So yeah, and then just like you said, every area kind of has its go-to as well.
That's
So
right.
that's also like this, yeah, it's a cool thing to see.
That's right. Yeah. Do you do you have any plans for any teams? Like you think for Regulation H? You're not even looking that far into it yet.
I think I'd like to go towards maybe, I don't know, Cali Ice kind of stuff. Give that a go with a if it was a double restricted, because I think
Mm,
it's a good base. Could maybe go with like Cali Ice are restricted, and maybe a bit of a faster mon as your other one. I
mm.
think I definitely have a friend who loves using Cali Ice, so I would hit him up for good ideas that for that. I think that would help. But yeah, I think Cali Ice is a really good Pokemon. It's probably what I'm gonna start off testing around for new meta if that is the case, or sorry, new regulation.
Yeah, well, it's come back to get its win, right? In NAIC, one of the biggest tournaments in the
Hmm.
world. So, it's yeah, the meta peaks and troughs. There's a new Pokemon that ends up winning. In the first one, obviously, we started with the Miraidon, being dealing so much damage, and
Oh yeah,
then Shadow Rider coming in, and then maybe I skipped one. But we never really get to see the Groudon and or the Kyogre ever take its run.
yeah. There's been some cool Kyogre teams. I think Groudon's kind of fallen by the wayside a little bit. But
Yeah,
yeah, there's been some cool Kyogre stuff coming through.
there has been
Definitely
one of
the Wochen version. I dreaded seeing that because no one wants to see Wochen. Well, no one in my friend group wants to see Wochen succeed.
no, no,
So
it never really got its win. People did try though. People did try to get the Wochen up there, and we did see a Wochen top eight.
yeah,
Uh,
that was a really
yeah, that
cool
was
team to see, but also like horrendous at the same time.
at the yeah. Imagine just playing
Yeah.
that. You wouldn't want to play it. I think yeah, there was the Wochen up there, and then also one of my mates, Henry, who was in top eight, he came in with the Overquill as well.
Hmm.
And had some success with that, which was a massive
Yeah, I saw that. I think it's a very cool pick. I saw the first time I ever saw that was at the last MSS I went to. I
yeah.
thought that's a really interesting pick. I never would have thought of that. And then you
Yeah.
come through and see it in top eight. And it's just
Yeah.
it's a cool mon. It's a cool choice. It's good to see something so off meta get up there
Yeah.
results wise.
It's just got to hit its shots like the gunk shot, obviously. It's just so hit
Yeah.
or miss, so the only reason why I don't like it is yeah, the gunk shots where I've used it in the past in like regulation E, I think. Just miss gunk shots and it just takes so much of the screen as well, of the Pokemon screen. It's just like
Hmm.
this big spike. If you put it on the right side, it's just this big spiky ball. You just can't even see the battle or what's
Yeah.
happening
Yeah, the inaccurate move is always annoying. I mean, I think the only one I currently use is Meteor Beam, and that's really kind of do or die. If you miss
all
it,
the
like
time.
it sucks.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
yeah, especially because it's a charge move as well.
yeah. That's true. Have you had any memorable moments throughout the year of your, let's say, your online tours or your circuits or anything that stuck out to you that you remember?
I think definitely winning my first kind of big online tour. So I think it was the winning the Tommy tour and then into the Hemi tour. So winning both of
Mm,
those because I think it was the first like 100 plus people tournament that I'd gone ahead and I won. So I think that was
yeah,
definitely like a proud moment. So yeah, because I didn't think I'd necessarily be able to do it, and then being able to do it. So it was cool to be able to get that achievement and see that you've got that.
yeah. Was it back to back, right? Or
Um, I think I played. They weren't too far apart winning them,
yeah,
but yeah, I think it was the 1 week, and then the other week I got the other. So it was cool to get. But yeah, and then I think just playing the Limitless tours and just getting the friends from it all and just
mm,
having a whole friend group, just kind of finding a whole friend group from it. It's been a really fun experience,
yeah,
and it's just good to have.
yeah. No, I definitely agree. I think that's yeah, like we've mentioned before, that's a big part of playing Pokemon is you get to meet these people online who are like-minded people who you definitely be friends in IRL. Um, you know, that are just all over the world.
Yeah,
Just spread all over the world in little pockets of different areas, at different time zones. You know, you'll go to sleep and your Discord's probably just like messages on messages about team building, and you wake up, you got to catch up with all this stuff that's been happening, um, and whatnot. Uh, yeah. So, where to from here for you now? So now the circuit's over.
mm-hmm.
What are your plans moving forward? Like with Pokemon
um,
in life, I guess.
I think it's definitely I can take it a bit more chill. There's not gonna have to be so much have to play every tournament every day,
Mm,
which I was doing. I wasn't necessarily. I was playing quite a few limitless tours because that was my practice. I didn't really play on cart, didn't play on showdown. I was just
mm,
playing limitless stuff. So I think I can maybe pick and choose tournaments I'm playing at now that wise until like it picks up again, which is nice. It's a bit of a mental break. I
yeah,
think other than that, it's just having fun with the team I'm using, kind of just enjoy what's left of this regulation. Just
yeah,
play it with friends, just have fun with that, and then just wait and see what Worlds is like what people bring to Worlds.
yeah. Worlds is it's coming up in exactly almost 2 months. which is crazy when you think about it. They could have left maybe one more tournament, for the
Yeah, it'd be nice to see a bit more time to be able to get some
yeah.
points. But then, yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting. It's another way to look at it though. It's like there's 2 whole months of meta development that we can see. So
Mm.
from what we have now to what we could have, there could be some really interesting stuff that people come up with potentially.
Yeah, I'm most interested in to see what the Japanese trainers come up with because
Oh, always. It's so
they
creative.
they will be so creative. I feel like they do it so effortlessly as well, you know?
Yeah.
You see a little bit of their presence on the online Limitless tours here and there, but not a whole lot.
I
You know,
think some one of the creative things I saw from one of the teams is the rock polish meteor beam Terapagos.
yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. We wouldn't think of doing that, but yeah.
No. Yeah, that's fried. That's definitely fried. Was that in the where was that?
I think
I
it
heard
was
about
Japan
that.
Nationals.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Man. Yeah, that's what I liked from the Japan, oh, well, not the Japan Nationals, but before that, they had the Japan singles battle,
hmm
and this was maybe like a month or a month and a half ago, and I felt honestly it was much more intense than double battles, eh? Every move counts.
Yeah.
Can't afford to make
Oh yeah, it
mistakes.
was. I'm not too much of a singles player, but I definitely
Yeah,
know some people who are, and I've given some of it a go, and it's a whole different ball game.
it's a whole different ball
So,
game.
yeah.
It's like, how did we move to playing double battles now? Like, since when did double battles become a thing in competitive battling? Because when people like general people that don't play Pokemon, when they think Pokemon, they just think it's like one-on-one battles, but
hmm
they have no idea about these double battle mechanic. They have no idea. For someone that's outside looking in, that's maybe a casual that might have played the base game or whatnot, trying to explain that the mechanics
Yeah.
to someone. Like, have you ever been in a position where you've had to explain like your game or like playing
A
to
little
anyone?
bit.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's trying to explain the basics of it has been always interesting. I've had to do
yeah,
it for a few people, and I
yeah,
think for me, it's having played the game so long, the understanding of it comes easy to me, and
yeah,
it's kind of not seeing how it doesn't necessarily for them. So it's kind of explaining as much as you can, but kind of both coming to an understanding that it's definitely a lot. Yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot there. There's a lot to think about. Yeah, it's interesting game.
It is an interesting game. Do you play any other games or
Um, Competitive wise, no. I mean, I play a bit of always playing just kind of fun games, so stuff like Assassin's Creed, Xbox wise,
yeah,
then Switch games, so playing Mario Kart. So more so Mario Kart with the friendship group at the moment. That's been fun. We normally do
nice.
that after tours sometimes.
Oh,
So
dude.
finish a tour, then all hop on Mario Kart. That's been good
Yeah.
fun. So stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun. It's nice to just unwind and take your mind off things.
Yeah,
And whatnot. You should definitely give a go. Mario Tennis.
yeah. I used to play it on Wii
Did you?
way back. Yeah, yeah.
Which,
When I was a child.
yeah. That shit is fire, man. Mario Tennis. Holy moly. I don't know if you
Sounds
can
very
play
fun.
it online like when you have other players coming in. You might be able
Yeah.
to. But I played with my cousins last week and man, that stuff like I'm sure like if everyone's on the same playing field that doesn't know what to do or just like hit the ball,
hmm
it's good. But when you're playing against
Yeah,
someone
it's
that
just a
like
good laugh.
knows all the mechanics, mate, it's a
Yeah, you're
very
just gonna
steep
get
learning
destroyed.
curve. You're
Yeah.
definitely gonna get destroyed. For sure. I wonder if did you ever did you when did you start competing in terms of like which regulation did you come in when you started competing? Because I had a question about
Um,
something.
so I think I started in regulation. was it E? I started playing
Okay.
Limitless tours.
Yeah.
I think it was midway through Regulation E. I was using like Banded Dragonite, Chen-Pal stuff, still with
Yeah.
Tilmask Ogapon, and like
Yeah.
AV Heatran, Frigoroth, and then Scarf Rapid Strike.
Yeah.
And then I took that team, changed it a little bit, added a Raging Bolt, took away the Dragonite, and then that was my Reg F team pretty much.
Okay. So
So
you never got to dabble into like Reg A, Reg B,
I
Reg
mean, I
C even.
played them on Showdown,
Okay.
but apart from that, I didn't play it outside of that.
Yeah, I feel like Pokemon missed the ball on that one, eh? Like they should have had a lot more Reg A stuff,
Yeah,
Reg
I
A
think when I
tournaments.
was playing it, I used to play like Murkrow, Hydreigon. I used Mousehold. I
Oh yeah,
loved using
that's
Mousehold back then. Yeah, I was
yeah,
using Mousehold, Meowscarada with like Hydreigon, Murkrow. That was some good
nice.
fun.
That does sound like fun. And I think the Pokemon did miss the ball with that, and they should have extended those tours. Maybe if have it for a couple of more months because they just quickly transitioned from Reg A to Reg B, and then Reg C was
Yeah,
just
they really flew by.
they
I
did
think
fly
Reg
by.
A and B, I played Reg C. I didn't really play a lot, and then yeah, just got back into it again from there because it was like
Mm,
it got to a point where like, they're changing so quickly. You're
yeah,
like it was yeah, it got a bit interesting,
yeah, yeah,
hard to keep up with. But yeah, there definitely been some fun ones. I think being able to use some Pokemon that you wouldn't normally use just because they have the different regulations is also a cool touch. So
yeah,
again, something like Mousehold was very fun to use.
yeah,
I'd say it's still probably a decent Pokemon to pick, but it's just been able to see it be so good,
yeah.
such a cool Pokemon like that is yeah.
Well, it can be paired up with most Pokemon, right? Just,
Yeah,
having that friend
I'm
card.
more the like the offensive population bomb
Oh
technician
yeah.
one. That was yeah, that was the one.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many different modes. And you don't know when like back then when I was playing kart, like just on that like laddering, you didn't know which one you're up against until you saw like the matchup. Because
Yeah,
sometimes you get faked out, you wouldn't know. Like if Mousehold and Annihilate would come up and they'd side beat up. Or it could be like a Mousehold where they final gambit with an Annihilate and then they come in with something
yeah.
else like and they
It's
just
definitely
population
that's
bomb
the
you.
idea I had with mine when I was on Best of One Showdown Ladder. It was Scarfed Annihilate with population bomb wide lens Mousehold.
Yeah.
So that yeah, that was a cool one to play.
Much more fun. Much more fun days. Wish we could go back to that one day. Who knows?
I'm sure we
Um,
will once we're done with the restricted, with the mess of what the restricted is. But yeah,
yeah, I don't know. So Regulation H would be double restricted, and then I think that might be, I don't know if it goes to HI, whatever that
I
might
don't
be.
know.
Who
I don't know if
knows?
they plan on going through the entire alphabet or if they're going to start it again. Who knows?
But if you can, because then you'll have like six Pokemon.
Yeah,
Um, that could just be whatever Pokemon. I don't know if
mhm.
will even introduce mythicals or whatnot. That
I
would be
don't
a
think
bit
I
broken. Nah.
don't think they ever have. I don't think they ever will.
No, that's big. Just imagine that one restricted, you could have one mythical. Oh my Lord. Could be fun for a few people, but that also means it kind of hides behind a bit of a paywall, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little
To
bit. You'd
to
get
get the
stuff like
Pokemon.
Dark Ride, Dark Void again as well. No one wants to see that.
No, no. Everyone going to sleep. Um, so are you looking forward to the next Pokemon game coming out next year, the Legends Z to A?
Yeah, definitely. From what I've seen, it looks like it could be cool.
Mm.
I'd be interested to play it. I'd
Yeah,
still very much love to get the Pokemon games, play them through, see what they're like. I think a lot of enjoyment still comes from just being able to do that aspect of Pokemon as well. So
yeah,
yeah, I'm looking forward to be able to sit down and play it, see what it's like.
yeah. What are your thoughts and what are your predictions for it?
Prediction wise, I don't necessarily have any predictions. It'd be interesting to see what they do mega wise because obviously X and Y was a thing, Megas was a thing. So it's like, do they
Mm,
keep that because that was a thing in that region? Like,
mm,
do they keep that mechanic or they're gonna change that mechanic? I don't know. I very much like the mechanic they have now. I think Terra is a very good mechanic. I wasn't too big a fan of stuff like Dynamax. In fact,
Mm,
it was a format I stepped back a bit when it was like Dynamax stuff.
yeah.
So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what the new kind of gimmick is, or seeing how they also how they whether or not it's they're going to take a an idea of putting it like in the past, like time
Mm,
wise, like they've done with some games like Legends Arceus, or whether or I don't know, just their approach to it. It'd be interesting to see because obviously always going back to the same region is there's either been a remake of an old game or it's been new games and they've changed the region slightly. So it'd be interesting to see their approach to it and kind of what they do with it.
yeah, you never know, eh?
Yeah, there's
Sometimes
so many possibilities. It's a harder one to think on.
Pokemon are always very skeptical and they'll always give hints here and there. And then you think one thing, next day you think something else. And then when it actually comes out, you never know, you like it's just completely out of the water. The
Yeah.
mechanic, like you mentioned now, like Terra Mechanic's probably the most balanced, probably mechanic in all of the gimmick mechanics. Like you said,
Yeah, I like what
Gyrantamax.
adds to the game. It adds so much to the game, offensive ways and defensive ways, and I think it just adds that next step to the game that just it makes it very fun.
Mm,
Prediction wise, just to be able to see other people do these predictions, it makes the game exciting to watch
yeah.
because you see people putting like moves that normally like stuff like fake out into a flutter main. I
Mm.
think we saw that was a cool one to see, and then just throwing moves that they normally have an immunity into something
Yeah.
that's now going to be super effective on neutral. It's just it adds something to the game player wise, and just if you're watching the game as well.
I think as well, like it also gives low undervalued Pokemon a bit more of a space to shine or a bit more of a space
Yeah,
to come
stuff
in and
with like originally bad typings, all of a sudden they can be really good again. Stuff like
yeah,
Dragonite, for example.
yeah.
That was the biggest, well, one of the biggest benefits benefactors of it.
I agree. I think Dragonite was one of the biggest glow ups for competitive battling and just to see it running around everywhere in the past few regulations was nice to see. Um, it still does make an appearance here and there in early meta stages because it's like,
Yeah,
okay, what's your answer to what's your answer to Power Knight again?
yeah, always.
Or what's your answer to Dozo again? What's your answer to XYZ? Whatever. Um, but yeah, like you mentioned, it'd be interesting to see what they do with the Mega Evolutions, whether they keep that in that game and that paves the way maybe for the next generation, perhaps.
Hmm.
You know, you can transfer Pokemon from that Legend ZA to Generation 10. Who knows? Nobody knows. Only the developers know. Sometimes I don't think they even know, but um,
Yeah, they keep it quite closely guarded sometimes.
very guarded, very, very guarded. Um, but yeah, you know, people sometimes be like, "Oh, I wish we got something this year," but you never know. Time goes really fast. We're already halfway through the year, so we've got another technically come out. Like, when was it? Like March or something? Another 8 to 9 months left, I guess, till the next game comes out. Possibly with the new Switch, which means we will have
Hmm.
to spend a bit more money again.
Yeah, time to get the wallet back out, buy more things.
Yeah, do some overtime. Jeez. Yeah, Pokemon, the game that always keeps on growing and
Yeah,
taking out of our wallets. But look, we love to play it.
yeah.
At the end of the day. So yeah, what are you up to? What are you up to today? It's early for you, isn't it? 10 a.m., 11 a.m.
Um, yeah, it's about 2 in the afternoon at the moment.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
no, probably just keeping it chill. I'm gonna play my friends tour a bit later. I mean, I say a bit later. It's gonna be 2 in the morning for me when it's on. So it's a
It's,
bit
is
of a later one,
that
but
Gertie's tour?
it's always a cool vibe. Yeah, Guddy's tour.
Oh yeah, that's 11 a.m. for me. I've always wanted to. Oh
Yeah.
no, I have played Gertie's tour before. He's a funny guy. I like Gertie.
Oh yeah, he's great.
There's a few tours actually. There's Gertie's, there's the PokéPal SmackDown, there's the
Uh-huh.
Beanie Brawl.
I might
Uh,
give a few of them a look. We'll see.
yeah, I think
But
the
yeah,
Beanie Brawl might be more for your time, really. Um, what else? Yeah, there's a Nino tour tomorrow, Spear Pillar tour. Who have you got this week for your Region Rumble?
Who are we playing? I think
Just
is
check.
it is it like not Mexico's itself, but that kind of region, South America. I think it's South America.
Oh no, we've got you next week, but you're playing against no, you
Oh no,
against Asia
it's
Pacific.
yeah. I'm not playing. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
not
you're not
playing
playing.
this week, so it's my week off.
Oh,
So it's all
oh,
right.
it'd
I
it'd be
don't mind the
nice if
week off.
everyone could play, like all the whole roster could play. That would make it
Yeah,
much
it'd
more
be nice,
interesting.
but I don't mind the break as well.
Because it's on Showdown. Takes about 20 minutes
Yeah,
of your day,
yeah, it
you
doesn't
know,
take long at all.
just click buttons. Um, yeah, it'd be nice. I originally asked, oh, if people want to play on cart, could that be good because people could stream it? They're like, no, we keep it on Showdown for now. I'm like, oh, damn,
Yeah, it just makes
would
it
have been
accessible.
nice.
I think
Yeah, it's very
accessible and
accessible.
quicker. Yeah,
Quicker, less issues as well. In terms of like disconnections and stuff. Because
yeah, it's cool as well. I so me and my friends managed to all get on a team pretty much.
yeah,
So it's something we're all doing within like that as well. I think I got a couple of friends on the North American team, another
yeah,
one on the global team. So it's just also something we're competing against each other as well. It's just added
yeah.
element to it.
You've got North America. You probably got Big Mackie.
Yeah, Mackie and Ploppy, so Jackson. I
Oh
know
yeah,
those two
nice.
good friends. Yeah, it's always cool to play against them. Good trash talk,
Yeah,
just good fun. And
Mackie's
then
good.
oh yeah, Mackie's great fun.
Um, he
And
knows
then
his
on
traps quite
Team
well.
Global, I think it's Riot's right. I know Riot's good friend, and then
Yeah,
Darth Glacies as well.
yeah.
Someone that always
Riot's cool.
play against in there. Yeah, Riot's very cool.
He came into my stream one day, and I was yesterday actually one day yesterday. I was playing Pokemon Go, and we were just farming Lando eyes together because it was raid hour, and we were trying to get shinies, but I got two shinies, but he didn't get any. I think he probably got about five or six, maybe six or seven Landos, which is
Hmm.
good. Pokemon Go, very underrated. If you do you play it?
My brother plays it more so than me. I've never really I picked it up when it first kind of was a thing,
Yeah.
but apart from that, never really gave it too much of a go.
Look, it's very underrated, and I'll tell you why. Because during those raid hours, you can get Pokemon like Landos, you can get Pokemon like Tornaduses. Next week's going to be Yveltal, which you can transfer to your Switch.
Yeah, everyone's favorite bacon bird, Eveltal.
So,
Everyone loves Eveltal. Yeah,
so I wonder if you see Yveltal sometime soon in the near future in competitive battling. I'm not sure. What do you reckon?
yeah. I think a lot of people were kind of sad that Avelta wasn't legal, but then
Yeah,
the plus side of that means it means Xerneas isn't legal.
that's right.
So yeah, because
That's
with
right.
one always comes the other. So I
It
don't
has
know
to.
whether or not
Yeah,
they'd allow it in double restricted, maybe, but
we
I
might
don't
see
know. We'll
it.
see.
We might see
It
it.
definitely put a bit of an end to Cali Shadow's reign of terror if you had stuff like a Veltal being a thing.
Yeah,
It definitely
yeah.
make it a lot harder to carry Shadow. There's probably ways around it, but that's another dark type that's really strong into it.
I reckon, yeah, that there might be an aspect of where that might be they might become legal somehow. Um, or they'll make a DLC. Maybe there'll be another DLC or something like that. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely some people think there will be another one. Be
I think there's
interesting
one
to
more.
see.
There's got to be one more
Yeah,
left towards the end of the year at least, or maybe after Worlds. Like they'll announce a DLC, which they did, I think, last Worlds when I was there. I think they released DLCs, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I can't remember
it'd be
now,
cool to
but
play. I mean, this game definitely has given us a lot of DLCs. I
we need
mean,
one more.
money wise, it sucks, but to play it, it's nice to have a game that has so much content.
I think that's what people are wanting, a little bit more content from the game because yeah, we've done everything now. It's kind of starting to get a bit stale in terms of everything.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I think we need a little bit more. I wonder if they can bring those Pokemon back. Especially when we're gonna have X and Y, like the Legends ZA.
Hmm.
coming out soon. It might be a nice little segue into it. Who knows?
Yeah.
If I was Pokemon, that's what I would do. Keep people interested. Do you collect Pokemon cards or anything like that?
More so for I've been trying to get my in-game teams in Pokemon cards
Oh,
lately.
okay, yeah,
So yeah, just trying to get those and just anything I see that I like, I get kind of thing. So I more get them for the appearance nowadays. I used to get them a lot as a kid. I used
yeah.
to love buying them, but yeah.
I just bought I bought 3 booster boxes of the new set, which is not available in English yet. It's called Night Wanderer, which is the Shrouded Fable, the Petron set. I'll see if I can
Hmm.
pull it out for you real quick. Uh, so hold up. Oh. So this is what that's what it looks. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it looks
That's
very
what it
cool.
looks like. Yeah, so that's a Japanese set. It's gonna be called
Uh-huh.
Shrouded Fable in English. These are the Japanese cards. I've just recorded a pull, which I got some cards from, and I'll show you what I got real quick. Uh,
Yeah, I like the Ogre finally becoming a card as well because I definitely wanted to get my hands on an Ogre card.
yeah,
So I was glad they
yeah,
came. I'm glad they were a thing.
yeah, I've got the Teal Mask one actually.
Yeah, same here. I got the Till Mask
Did
one. I
you?
got
Yeah.
it. Yeah, last MSS I went to, I picked that up. I was like, I'm gonna buy
Nice,
that. Had to.
nice. Yeah, you have to. You have to buy it.
Yeah, little
Um,
mascot.
this is one of the pulls that I got, the Petarant,
Yeah, Petron. Oh, that's a cool
which is
card.
quite nice. And then there's the Houndoom, and then there's the Duskull and
Dusclops.
Dusclops, sorry.
Some of
Um,
the yeah, some of the art on them is really cool.
I feel like they could have done a little bit better though. It was that's this set has potential to have done much better, but I was a little
Hmm.
bit upset. So I don't think it's a set that I'll collect completely or like invest
Yeah,
in. It's a nice set to do like a pool, but yeah, I'd advise probably not to get it if you ever thought about it. But
I tend to just like I said, get the cool ones are the ones in my team. I think I've got an Ursaluna one. I've got a Tilmas Gogapon, um, Mousehold, and then just the cards I've won just from because we used to get given like I don't know, like prize packs when we were winning
yeah.
if you win locals or just from participating in locals. So the ones I got from that. I think I've got a marked Lugia EX. That's pretty cool.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. From what set was that from? Do you remember?
I don't know, I can go get it.
Let's have a quick look.
So this one,
That is
don't know if you can.
returned. Oh yeah, nice. I don't know what set that is, but oh, it's a play Pokemon one.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, it looks like a deer almost as the mark for it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
But
could be
yeah,
worth a
it's a
little bit
cool
of
card.
cash, man.
Oh yeah, maybe a little bit, but it's cool just to have.
Yeah, yeah. Pokemon cards, yeah, collection. There's a lot of Pokemaniacs out there that will the different types of people of that collect. You got collectors that'll just collect for like filling out the whole sets. You've got collectors that just want to pull chase cards and resell it. There's collectors that just buy out multiple booster boxes and resell at 10 times the price later on. You got all sorts
Yeah.
of people out there that are doing some funny things. But yeah, well, it's about 11:15 p.m. right now. I've got work in the morning.
Hmm.
It's been lovely to talk to you, Kyle. It's definitely
Yeah, it's been
interesting.
fun.
Interesting to have you on the podcast because I've always on what when I'm playing the like online tours or whatnot, I always go back and back then I always look to go back and see who's winning tours or whatnot. And on my streams, like, who is this old Kyle guy? Like, who just keep winning these tours? I need to get to see who this person is, because like you were a menace like during Reg E, I think E and F. You were just non-stop
Yeah,
winning.
F was definitely
F,
the team was
F.
very good for F. Yeah.
Yeah. You were just a menace, just winning non-stop. So it was good to see, like, that you just had
Yeah, it
this
was fun to play.
dominating figure. Um, any tournament that you'd go into, I'd be like, okay, let me look at his team now, see what he's doing. And it was always the teal mask over Ogre. And I was like, man, how is this guy just keep running this? And obviously you had your reasons and it worked out well for you. But yeah,
Yeah,
congratulations for all
thank you.
those wins. Definitely didn't go unnoticed, that's for sure. But yeah, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate you a lot.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's been cool.
Uh, anything else you'd like to say on the podcast before I shut the shop?
No, no, I think I'm pretty much said everything I can say. But yeah,
Easy. All
but
right.
yeah, again, thanks again. So.
No, you're welcome. Thank you so much.